acquire the data by updating the download bandwidth in order to cope with the large amount of data. And we have improved the ability to manage the data by improving the management system for the instrument and software and hardware system, and enlarging the capacity of our storage devices. And we have improved the ability to process the data by updating the hardware system and the processing algorithms. And we are going to improve the in-depth application of the data and try to do more research with the data.
Wang Xiaodong, thank you. And it sounds like these improvements will help us to get more information from the moon mission. Back to you.
And Chang'e, could you please tell us what part of research and observations will be conducted at the National Observatory there?
Yes, this place will be very busy in the next few days, and the staff here will 24 hours every day in the next 6 months. And they will process the data sent down from the space probe, and they will also produce the high-resolution images on the moon surface, and they will also analyze the composition of the minerals of the moon. They will also test the how thick and rough of the soil is, so that we can know what is the surface like. So we can expect there will be a lot of research in the coming days. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Chang'e, for your reporting from the National Observatory. And now let's get back to the control center, which is the Beijing Aerospace Command and Control Center, and get to our reporter Han Bin, who's been covering over there. Good evening, Han Bin.
Hi, Zhou.
Well, congratulations to all the people who've been working there. You've had a wonderful liftoff and a successful launch. You've been covering a lot of missions in that center, so you've talked to many of the scientists and engineers in that place. What have you learned from the process?
Well, it's quite a unique experience that leaves me many of the deep impressions. Well, during the past 2 weeks, I've interviewed a couple of people, and I get a close-up look of China's space industry, and especially the lunar project. And there are several impressions. Firstly, is the growing number of young people taking part into the project. For example, when I researched the satellite system, there are over 40% of the people are young people in their 30s, and many of them are taking a very important position, like the chief designers, deputy chief designers of the sub-systems. And this generational transformation may inject new vitality to China's lunar project and the space industry. The second impression is that the acceleration of China's space programs. For example, when I was in Xichang, they told me years ago they launched the satellite a year only once or twice, but now they have 10. And China is stepping up its efforts for its deep space exploration, and is building more powerful launching site in the south, and also is aiming to build the space stations in the future. And this is to shorten the distance and expand its capabilities. And third thing is that there is a growing openness for China's space program, the transparency and the objective attitude towards this program. And the people I interviewed, they are very friendly to talk to me, and they treat it as a kind of experiments and knowledge instead of a kind of a national secret. They are very acknowledgeable to the gap between China and the rest of the world, and give us the general picture and the balanced picture of the real situation here. And all those helped me a great deal for me to finish the real reports. So yeah.
Well, I cannot agree with you more. There's a group of young and talented and dedicated people behind China's space program. Just we have in the studio Mr. Peng and Mr. Chen, who have been making a lot of contributions to the success. And also, I know it is a tough job, but also an interesting job to have interviewed many people in the Space Command Center. What impressed you the most during your coverage of the program?
It's the people. Because over the past 2 weeks, I've interviewed dozens of people, not only those high-ranking officials, the senior scientists and designers, commanders who are making the decisions, but also the common people who make the part of the project complete. And when you get into their world, it's often a touching one. Some of them are sacrificing their moon festival. That is the time when most of the Chinese people have the family gatherings, reunions with the family members. Some of them are staying in the mountainous areas for a long time or working in the danger and high pressure conditions to finish the jobs on time. They have put their feelings into the job and the project, and their work is often not being highlighted when the mission is being completed. But what I think is that they are the real heroes because they are the base to hold China's satellite and rocket deep into space. I think we have to pay the tribute to them. Back to you, Zhou Yue.
Well, thank you indeed, Hanbin, for reporting over there. Like everything else, this is a hugely teamwork. Well, the second phase of China's lunar project, the Chang'e-2 satellite, is set to go at the Xichang Launch Center. It has successfully done its liftoff, and our reporter Hanbin has been there for a close-up look before it lifts off. He has an exclusive interview with the director of the Launch Service Support, one of the first to welcome the satellite, and obviously it is the last to see it off.
Hidden in the mountains of Sichuan province in southwestern China, lunar orbiter Chang'e-2 awaits its mission. Zhang Gang is the director of the launch service support. For Zhang, it's like coming home every time he enters the 2 launch tower. It now holds the Long March 3C rocket and the satellite.
The number 2 launch tower has the capacity to launch a Long March 3C, plus Xichang's low latitude makes it geographically suitable to launch a Chang'e-2. It's closer to the moon and can increase rockets.
The rocket was installed in the tower in mid-September. Zhang's colleagues erected it with utmost care and precision. Although their job does not touch upon the core technology of the Chang'e-2, it's crucial for a successful mission. Zhang Gang shows us the stop and speed controls for the huge carrier wheels. The control room is responsible for installing the 50-meter rocket and the 2,500-kilogram satellite. The Chang'e-2 is now 8 stories high. On its cover are the characters China Lunar Exploration Program.
The satellite is now undergoing electric testing. Our job is to provide it with a favorable environment, including temperature, humidity, and cleanliness. All these services can only be stopped 40 minutes before liftoff. We are on 24-hour service to keep a satellite in stable condition.
These tubes and lines are the support facilities for the satellite. They will all separate from Chang'e-2 just prior to liftoff.
We are the last group of staff to retreat before the rocket blasts off. That's when we see the satellite for a last time. Then for safety reasons, we watch it fly via TV. But we are so close to it. When we see the rocket fly to the sky, we have very complex feeling. It's just like a parent seeing his child grow up and leave home. On the one hand, you wish him to carry out his career and realize his goal. On the other hand, you certainly feel a little bit sad and miss him. Though the rocket and the satellite are not human beings, in our minds, they seem to have real life.
The growing number of launches at Xichang means fewer than 30 days off for Zhang Gang in a whole year. But he says the missions and a sense of purpose make it all worthwhile. Hanbin, CCTV.
Well, let's talk about the human dimension of such a project like the Chang'e. we can see there are a lot of young people in their 30s and even 20s who've been working at the labs at the control center, like you and Mr. Chen. Obviously, there are a lot of young people who are interested and enthusiastic about space who've been coming on board to do this. So what is the incentives for the space scientists and engineers to do this?
Incentive?
The motivation.
Motivation.
I know it's a demanding and it's a lonely work to do that.
I think sometimes it's very interesting to do such jobs because I think almost for every kids, when they grow up, when they look up the sky, they will have some dreams to be on board a plane or even a spaceship to go to the cosmos to have some wonderful adventure. Because we cannot do it by ourselves, so we would like to produce such probes like Chang'e-1 and Chang'e-2, even for Chang'e-3 and Chang'e-4. Those probes carry our dreams into the space and find many unknown things. I think it's inspiring, and it's the biggest motivation of people or engineers like me.
Yes, indeed. As Mr. Peng said, this is an adventure. Spaceflight is an adventure for human beings. Many young people are just crazy about this because it is the widest adventure ever done by human being. I recall the Apollo project. Behind it is 400,000 people working for this. Is this the same kind of amount of interest still holding for Americans now, John?
I think so. Let me explain, first of all, that I think most Americans are sick and tired of the space shuttle.
But not sick and tired of the space program.
They're not sick and tired of the idea of space exploration, but they see no connection between the space shuttle and space exploration. Mm-hmm. If there were a mission to Mars, you could probably get the average American to sign up to go, not to mention supporting the concept. There's excitement in true exploration, and true exploration is what provides us with new knowledge, new insights.
And also during the process, during what we are doing to conduct the space flights, there must be a lot of spin-off effects, new technologies developed and new discoveries being made in the process of going there to the outer space. This must have inspired new generations of people.
Yes, I'm sure it has. And the very idea that when we get to Mars and are able to explore it freely, to look at different latitudes, to drill down into the surface of Mars and look at sediments of different ages, that we may find evidence of fossil life forms or even viable microbes on Mars. That idea is of such fundamental interest and importance that it's motivated people since long before there was spaceflight. Mm-hmm. There was lots of science fiction written before there was any such thing as space science about life on Mars.
I know that's why many people in many countries are actually now interested in Mars projects. We have Mars 500, a simulation project currently underway in Russia, and Chinese have sent an astronaut to take part in this project. It seems that we are interested in outer space, in deep space projects. It's same true here